Sir, you can start. Sir. It's already 6:07.
Okay, then I'll start. आप इसको full screen कर दीजिएगा अपने उधर.
Okay, sir.
So, good evening, all of you. This is a special class arranged for you to complete some topics before your CCEs. So today's topic would be a simultaneous equation. I'll be starting this topic. In some classes, I guess this topic has been started or a bit completed, but I'll start from scratch. For the slides which I am using, you can see the rhythm channel of YouTube of our college. You will see business mathematics video lectures, and you can see these slides from there, right? So I'll be skipping fast with these slides. हम कोशिश करेंगे questions ज़्यादा करें, ठीक है? So let's start. If you have any queries, you can post your queries in the chat box in the YouTube live session. Fine. So let us start with what simultaneous equation is. First of all, let us understand what actually is an algebraic equation. So we can define an algebraic equation as a mathematical expression that involves letters along with numbers and signs. That means, for example, this is an equation expression 2x plus 3y plus 5. Here, x and y are called variables because we can have any values of x and y. 2, 3, and 5 are numbers or constant. Such an expression is called algebraic expression. Then we have a term called equation. Equation is basically an expression in which we have a left-hand side part and a right-hand side part, and we equate them with a sign of equality. It is very important in an equation to have a equal to sign. For example, we have 4x plus y is equal to 3z minus 2y. And a branch of mathematics in which we involve the symbols x and y or variables as well as constants together is known as algebra. So this simultaneous equations is a part of algebra, right? Then here we have two important things associated with equation. First is root of the equation. Second one is degree of the equation. Root means it is the value of unknowns or the variables for which the equation is true. For example, if I put the value of x as 2, my left-hand side part becomes equal to the right-hand side part. So that 4x minus 2 is equal to 6 is equal from both the sides, right? So this value of x, which makes both left-hand side part and the right-hand side part equal, is known as root of the equation. Similarly, we have another term called degree of the equation. It is the highest exponential value of a variable in an equation. For example, I have an equation 3x square plus 5x plus 9 equal to 0. So I say that the degree of my equation is 2 because the highest power of unknown variable x here is 2. Okay. Then there are different types of equations. So basically we have 5 types of equations. First is a linear equation. Second one is called quadratic equation. Then we have radical equation. We have exponential equation, and we have the rational equation. Let us see them one by one. First, linear equation. Linear matlab single. So it is an equation in which is either a constant or a product of a constant or a single variable. That means here the highest power of a unknown variable is 1. The linear equation have a general form y is equal to mx plus c. For example, y is equal to 5x plus 7. Here, the unknown variable is x and y, and the highest power of both these unknown variable is 1. That is why I call this equation as a linear equation. Second one is 8x minus 8 is equal to 0. Here, we have only one unknown variable, which is x, and its value and the highest power is 1. So it is called a linear equation. If you plot a graph of a linear equation, you'll get a straight line like this, जैसे कि यहाँ graph बना हुआ है, right? And this graph or slope line is called gradient, which is denoted by m. Now, second type of equation is quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Or we have ax square plus c equal to 0. These are the two general formats of quadratic equation. Here in quadratic equation, the highest power of unknown variable is 2. So in the first equation, it is x square minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. The highest power is 2. In second equation, we have 4x square minus 9 is equal to 0. Here also the highest power is 2, right? And the second equation type, which is of the form ax square plus c is equal to 0, this is called a perfect quadratic equation. If you plot a graph of this, you will get a curve like this, which is known as parabola. Then we have another type of equation called radical equation, in which the highest power of the unknown variable is 1 upon 2, which is under root. So if any variable has a power root, like root of x plus 10, such equation is called a radical equation. Here also we get a parabola, but which is perfectly symmetric from both the sides, positive as well as negative side. Okay. Then next type of equation we have is exponential equation, in which the unknown variable is as a power. So it is 8 raised to power x minus 32 is equal to 0. If you plot a graph, you will get a line like this, which is never ending. Okay. Then rational equation. Rational equations are of the form of rational numbers, which is in the form of p upon q, where p and q both are integers and the denominator or the q part is not equal to 0. Okay. So if we have something in denominator of a variable, this type of equations are called rational equations. So all these type of equation we need to solve while solving simultaneous equation. Now we come to the actual definition of what actually is a simultaneous equation. So basically, simultaneous equation is not just one equation, but it's a combination, or we can say a system of two or more linear equations. So we have a combination of two equations such that if you satisfy the equation with a value of x and y, that means if you have one set of root for an equation, it will satisfy the second equation as well. Okay, so we can define simultaneous equation as a system of two or more linear equations that are satisfied by the same set of values for the unknown quantities for all the equations. Okay, now if we have two variables, we have two equations. If we have three variables, we have three equations. तो उसको हम बोलते हैं linear simultaneous equation in two variables as well as in three variables. In your syllabus, you are having the linear simultaneous equation in two variables only. Okay, so we have 3x minus 5y is equal to 18. We have 4x plus y is equal to 2. So if you have a value of x and y that satisfy the first equation, then definitely it will satisfy the second equation as well. Okay, so such type of equations are called simultaneous linear equations, or simply we say that simultaneous equation. Okay. Chalo, let's move on. What are the applications of simultaneous equation? We have certain applications, like it is useful in calculation of rate, distance, time, calculation of best deals, calculation of best plans, deciding on the loan amount, cost and demand analysis, budgeting. So for all these real life problems, we make use of concepts of simultaneous equation in some way or the other. Okay, so we make use of simultaneous equations. Next we have on the loan amount, cost. So then let us now move on. इसको छोड़ देते हैं, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Characteristics of simultaneous equations. Okay, so we have seen that a system of linear equation one variable only is not taken as simultaneous equation because you need to have at least two variables. Okay? So a set of values of x and y are called solution or roots of simultaneous equation. So sometimes a question will come that two equations are given and it asks for you to find the roots of this equation. That means you have to find the value of both the unknown variables x and y, right? And the general structure of simultaneous equations लिखा हुआ है a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. Here a1, b1, c1 are coefficients, all right? They are constant values or they are called coefficients. Here what happens? that if we have the value of a1 upon a2 is equal to the value of b1 upon b2 and it is equal to the value of c1 upon c2, we say that there are infinitely many solutions so that we don't have a single value of x and y. Okay. Second, if we have a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2, but it is not equal to c1 upon c2, we say that we have no solution for such equation. And a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, and the value of c1 and c2 both are 0, we say that we have a unique solution, and that unique solution is the value of x and y is equal to 0. So this may come as a theory question. So we stick to the problems. Now we see in what ways we solve simultaneous equations, right? So first we will see what are the methods of solving simultaneous equation. So basically we have two types of methods that we use to solve simultaneous equation. The first method is called the graphical method, in which we plot a graph, and generally we don't use this method. And the second method which we use is algebraic method, in which we make use of the laws of algebra to solve the equations, right? So this is an algebraic method that we are using. Here in algebraic method, we have two categories. First is called elimination method. Second is cross multiplication method. Elimination method again is of three types. First is the substitution method. Then we have comparison method, and we have addition or subtraction of equation. That means altogether हमको simultaneous equation solve करने के लिए 4 methods पढ़ने. The first method is substitution, is comparison. Third method is addition or subtraction of equation, and the fourth and the most important one is the cross multiplication method, right? So we begin with substitution method first. So this is the basic theory or the method. Suppose we are given with this equation. We have two equations. The first one is 3x plus y is equal to 11. The second one is 4x minus 2y is equal to 8, right? जो भी हमें दो equation मिलती है, we mark them as equation number 1 and equation number 2. We mark them as equation 1 and 2. And what we do, from both of these equations, we find the value of one unknown variable, same one unknown variable. This is a graphical method that we are using. So हमने y की value निकाल ली. From first equation, the value of y is 11 minus 3x. From second equation, the value of y is 2x minus 4. If you solve it, you will get the value as 2x minus 4. What you do, you take different values of x and find different values of y for equation 1. Similarly, you take different values of x and find different values of y for equation number 2. Generally, we take such values of x so that we have definite values of y, not the decimal values. Okay, we should have an integer value. So I am taking the value of x as 2, 3, and 4 and find the value of y. Similarly, for second equation, I take the value of x as 2, 3, and 4 again and find the value of y. And from the values of x and y, we plot the lines, two lines, and at one point, you will see that these two lines intersect each other. This point of intersection will give you the solution of the simultaneous equation. Here, the lines intersect at a point 3, 2. Here, the first value represents the 2. But we don't use graphical method. We only use algebraic method for more accuracy. Okay. We see the same problem, how we solve it using substitution method. Now, as the name suggests, this method is called substitution method, in which what we do, we first find the value of any one unknown variable from any of the two equations, and then put the value of that constant into another equation. Okay, let us now mark this equation as equation number 1 and equation number 2. ठीक है. अब हम क्या करेंगे? We'll first find the value from equation 1. The value of y is equal to 11 minus 3x. Let us now mark it as equation number 3. Here, since we have found the value of y from equation number 1, we will put this value of y in equation number 2, whatever is the remaining equation. Okay. So after putting it, we say that substituting the value of y from equation number 3 into equation number 2. See, the way of writing or solving a problem is very important. You should follow this pattern of solving. And whenever, please remember, in mathematics, whenever you are solving a problem and that solution has an equal to sign in between, you should always start your line with a implies sign. This sign is called implies. All right. So it implies that the value of 4x minus 22, we have just opened the bracket. So it's 4x minus 22 minus minus plus 6x is equal to 8. Here, if you don't use implies sign, उसका ये मतलब होता है कि इसकी value 8 है. But it is not the next equation. It is the same line that we are continuing. That's why we have to use an implies sign. So always make it a point. If you are solving and you are using an equal to in between, please start your solution implies sign every time. Okay. So while solving this, I'll get the value of x as 3. Once you get a value of x, you can put this value in any of the equation 1, 2, and 3. You will get the value of y. So here I'm putting the value of equation of x in equation number 3, which is y is equal to 11 minus 3x. After putting it, I'll get the value of y as 2. So from this method also, I'm getting the same value of x and y as we are getting in the graphical method, right? So if you follow this correct method, your answer should be correct in every method, whichever you will take in. So this method is called substitution method. Okay. इसमें हम करते क्या है? We take the value of one unknown variable from the first equation or from the second equation and put this value in the another equation so that our whole equation reduces to only one form, only one unknown variable. Okay. Once we have found out the value of this unknown variable, we put it in any of the equation to get the value of other unknown variable. Clear hai? एक example देखते हैं. We have an equation y minus 2x is equal to 7. Second, we have the equation as 4y plus x is equal to 1, right? So let us now try to solve it. We mark the given equation as 1 and 2. Here, from equation 1, we say that the value of y is equal to 7 plus 2x, because if you take this minus 2x on the opposite side, it becomes positive of 2x. So it's 2x plus 7. Okay. Mark it as equation number 3. Since it's a substitution method, I will substitute the value of y in the remaining equation number 2. So it becomes 4 times 2x plus 7 plus of x is equal to 1. Put an implies sign, open the brackets. It is 8x plus 28 plus x is equal to 1. 8x plus x is 9x. You take this 28 this side, it becomes minus 27. So the value of x is equal to minus of 27 upon 9, which is equal to minus 3, right? Once you get a value of x, put it in any of the equation. I'm putting it in equation number 3. I'll get the value of y as 1. Clear? This method is called substitution method. So if you have your books, try to solve your exercise B by this method. Okay? Substitution method. Now the next method is comparison method. We come to the second method of simultaneous equation. It is called comparison method. हमने फिर से वो example लिया है. We have 3x plus y is equal to 11. We have 4x minus 2y is equal to 8. Right? So how do we solve it? We mark the given equation as equation 1 and 2. Then what we'll do? We will find the value of one of the same unknown variable from both the equations. So from equation number 1, I say that the value of y is equal to 11 minus 3x. Similarly, from equation number 2, I say that the value of y is equal to 4x minus of 8 upon 2. हमने किया क्या है? Minus 2y को we have taken to the right hand side, it becomes plus 2y. 8 को I have taken this side, so it becomes minus of 8. So it is 4x minus 8, which is equal to 2y. It means the value of y is, I have to divide it by 2. So my answer is 4x minus 8 divided by 2. Here from the first numerator, I'll take 2 as common. So I'm left with 2x minus 4 in the bracket. These two got cancelled. And in your solution, please don't cancel it yourself. उसके बाद जो स्टेप है वो लिख दो. ठीक है, आपको ऐसा कैंसिल करने की जरूरत नहीं है उसको पेंसिल से या किसी भी तरीके से. Just directly write the next step. So we are left with 2x minus 4, which is the value of y, and mark it as equation number 4. Here, if you notice, equation 3 is also equal to y and equation 4 is also equal to y. That means if they both are equal to y, we can compare them both. This method is called comparison method because we take the value of same unknown So now comparing equation number 3 and 4, we have 11 minus 3x is equal to 2x minus 4. Clear? Again, I have to use an implied sign. Solving this, I take the x term on one side and non-x term on the other side. So it becomes, I take 3x that side, it becomes 3x plus 2x. I take 4 this side, it becomes 11 plus 4. On solving further, I have 5x is equal to 15. That means the value of x comes out to be 3. Once I get the value of x, you can put it in any of the equation. I'm putting it in equation number 3 simply. I get the value of y as 2. So again, I get the same answer, x is 2. I get the same answer, x equal to 2, x equal to 3 and y equal to 2. This is called comparison method, right? So we have seen two methods जो हम use करेंगे algebraic form में. The first method is substitution. This second method is called comparison method. Okay? Let us take an example. Suppose we have the equation 7x plus 3y is minus 44 is equal to 0. Second equation is 3x minus 4y minus 2y minus 9 equal to 0. So again, I write it in proper equation. So it becomes 7x plus 3y. I take this minus 44 this side, it becomes plus 44. Similarly, I take this 9 this side, it becomes plus of 9. So I have the equation as 3x minus 2y is equal to 9. So mark them as equation number 1 and 2. Again, from equation 1, the value of y is equal to 44 minus 7x. Put it as equation number 3. Then we have from equation number 2, again I calculate the value of y. So I take this y on the opposite sides, it becomes plus 2y. I take this 9 this side, it becomes minus of 9. Then the value of y is equal to 3x minus 9 upon 2. Okay, since they both equate to y, we can compare them together. So हम लिखेंगे, now comparing equation number 3 and 4. Please see the way I am solving the problem. आपको भी इसी sequence में इसी तरीके से solve करना है. Then only you will get full marks. On comparing, that means on equating equation number 3 and 4, just put the values of y here. We have 44 minus 7x upon 3. It is equal to 3x minus 9 upon 2. Now, how do you solve such things? You have to do cross multiplication. That means this 2 is multiplied on the opposite side with 44 minus 7x. And this 3 is multiplied to the numerator of the opposite side, which is 3x minus 9. So we have to write that using cross multiplication method. We have 2 times of 44 minus 7x, which is equal to 3 times of 3x minus 9, right? So we have the value of x as 5. Once you get the value of x, same, you can put it in any of the equation, you will get the value of y. Y is 3. So x is 5 and y is 3 are the roots of this equation. Clear? Eh? So these are the two simple methods, substitution and comparison. But if a question comes as a short answer type question of 4 marks, you will use this method, you can. But I would suggest कि हमारा जो next method है addition or subtraction वाला, हम वो use करेंगे elimination method. We don't use comparison and substitution because they are very simple, right? Now we come to the third and very important, which is elimination method. Now here in elimination method, we have 3 cases. Let us see what are those. The first case is if the coefficient of one of the unknown variable in both the equation is equal and of opposite sign. अब ये क्या लिखा है? If you see the equations given, we have 3x minus 5y is equal to 11. We have 4x plus 5y is equal to 3. If you compare the coefficient of y, we have the same coefficient which is 5, but one value is negative, the other value is positive, right? So this is called case number 1, in which coefficients of one unknown variable in both the equation is opposite sign and but with the same value. In such case, what we do, we simply add the two equations. जब हम इसको add करेंगे तो plus 5y minus 5y cancel हो जाएगा, so that you eliminate one unknown variable and your whole equation reduces to one unknown variable, right? Let us see the solution, what we do. Again, mark them as equation 1 and 2. On adding them both together, हम इसको लिखेंगे कैसे? हम लिखेंगे 3x minus 5y is equal to 11 plus 4x minus plus 5y is equal to 3. Since minus 5y plus 5y are getting cancelled, please don't put a cross or a line to show that they are cancelling. Just straight away write the next step, which is you add 3x plus 4x, you get 7x. वो कैंसिल हो गया, उसको हटा दो, is equal to 11 plus 3, we have the answer as 14. That means the value of x is equal to 2. Okay, once you have a value of x, you can put it in any of the equation. मैंने equation 1 में रख दिया उसको. So it's 3 into 2 minus 5y is equal to 11. Solve it, you will get the value of y as minus of 1. That means we have the roots x equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 1. This method of either adding or subtracting the equations is an elimination method, or please try to solve the problem with this method only, then only you'll get the full marks. Okay, so this is case number 1 in which we have the same coefficient but with opposite sign. Clear? Now we come to the second elimination method, or the second case of it, case number 2. Here, if the coefficient of one of the unknown variable in both the equation is equal but with the same sign. Okay, पहले वाले में opposite sign था, same value थी, यहाँ पे same sign है, same value है. Let us see the example we have. We have x plus y is equal to 10. We have x minus 2y is equal to 6. If you compare the coefficient of x, the coefficient of x here is 1. Anything multiplied by 1 is that same number, so x can be written as 1 into x. Okay, so here the coefficient is same as well as their sign is also same. Both are positive 1. Okay, so in this case what we do, we subtract one equation from the other. So here I am subtracting equation number 2 from equation number 1. So how do you write it? ये बहुत important है, ध्यान से देखिए. हमने पहले equation 1 लिखी, x plus y is equal to 10. Then we have x minus 2y is equal to 4. Then after a gap, put a line. While subtracting, you will change the sign of the second equation. Each element's sign is changed. Plus x will become minus x. Minus 2y will become plus 2y. Plus of 4 will become minus of 4. ये बहुत important है करना. Then you will add them together. तो क्या हो जाएगा? X minus x, x cancel हो गया. You have plus y plus 2y. The answer is plus 10 minus 4. The answer is 6. If you solve it, you will get the value of y as 2. Okay, you will get the value of y as 2. Here we get the value of y as 2. We put this value in equation, we will get the value of x. So we have the roots as x equal to 8 and y is equal to 2. So if you see in your books, if you have, you can use the exercise C. You can use this elimination method to solve the problems of exercise C. First you solve the solved examples given in the book, then you come to the exercises. Okay. Now we come to the third case, which is very, very important. Question यहाँ से tough हो जाता है थोड़ा सा. Here, the third case is if the coefficients of unknown variables in both the equations are different. Now, this is a case number 3. Let us see the example. We have 3x plus 8y is equal to 17, and we have x plus 10y is equal to 13. Here, the coefficients of x are not matching. Even the coefficients of y are not matching. So this is case number 3 in which none of the coefficients of the unknown variables match with each other. So what we do, we will try to make coefficients of at least one unknown quantity same. अब वो हम कैसे बनाएंगे? By multiplying it with some factor. Okay. Suppose here, let us see the solution here. I mark them as equation 1 and 2. Now, what we do, we have to find out a way in which we eliminate one variable by making its coefficient same. Here I want to eliminate y first. आप x भी कर सकते हैं, मैं y कर रहा हूँ. To make the coefficients of y same, we see what is the common factor or common multiple of 8 and 10. है ना? हमने 8 का टेबल देखा तो 40 आता है और 10 में भी 40 आता है. That means if I multiply equation number 1 by 5 and I multiply equation number 2 by 4, the coefficients of y become same, right? So here, by seeing the coefficient, you have to decide what factor you will take or multiply with so that the coefficients of any one variable becomes same. So here I am multiplying equation number 1 by 5 and equation number 2 by 4. So we have 15x plus multiplication means I have to multiply on both the sides, left hand side as well as right hand side. So it is 15x plus 40y is equal to 17 5s are 85 and multiplying by 4 with equation number 2. So it's 4x plus 40y is equal to 13 4s are 52. Mark them as equation number 3 and 4. Now if you notice, after doing this step, our equations either reduces to the first case or second case. Here what we have done, we are having same coefficient, same sign. This is case number 2. हम क्या करते हैं? We subtract one equation from the other. If we have case number 1, we simply add the equations together. So by multiplying with some factor and making the coefficient same, our equation reduces to either case number 1 or case number 2. Okay. Here we have same coefficient, same sign. So we will simply subtract one equation from the other. After subtracting equation number 4 from 3, we have to change the sign of each element of equation number 4. So 4x will become minus 4x. 40y will become minus 40y. आपको सिर्फ साइन लिखना है, बाकी कुछ नहीं लिखना, जैसे यहाँ लिखा हुआ है. So 15x minus 4x, the answer is 11x. 40y minus 45 got cancelled. 85 minus 52, the answer is 33. That means the value of x is equal to 3. Once I get the value of x, I can put it in any of the equation and get the value of y. It is very simple. So this is a very important method. हम कोशिश करेंगे हमारे सारे problems हम इसी method से solve करें, चाहे हमसे बोला जाए या ना बोला जाए, right? So this is called elimination method. Again, I'm repeating, it has 3 cases. The case number 1 says that, this is case number 1. This case number 1 says that coefficient of one of the unknown variable in both the equations is equal and of opposite sign. And see the example, same coefficient, opposite sign. How do we solve? We simply add the 2 equations. Okay. Then we have case number 2 in which we have same coefficient, same sign. So what we will do, instead of adding, we will subtract one equation from the other. And the third case is, if none of the coefficient match, we multiply both the equation by certain factors so that the coefficient of any one variable becomes same. तो सेम बनेगा तो 2 केस होंगे, either it will be reduced to case number 1 or case number 2. In whichever form it changes to, we will use and solve it. Clear hai? So these are the methods that we use. Now we come to the very important method, which is called cross multiplication method. हम पहले सारे method देखते हैं, then we do the problems. Okay. Now, in order to apply this method of cross multiplication, our equation must be of the form a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. So हमारी equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0 होना चाहिए. Okay. Now please, if you are noting it down, whatever I have written, please note it. मेरे साथ साथ करिए. इसमें थोड़ा समझना पड़ता है. So हमारा equation का form ऐसा होना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो we have to arrange them in this order. Okay. So it's a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. तो हम करते क्या है? Since we have 2 unknown variables x and y, we will write it like this: x upon, it is equal to y upon, it is equal to 1 upon. Clear? So it is x upon, y upon and 1 upon. अब upon में हमें लिखना क्या है? If you look carefully, here the coefficient, here the coefficient of x are a1, a2. So leave the coefficient of x. If we are finding the value of x, leave the coefficient of x. हमारे पास y और c का टर्म बचा हुआ है, हम उसको लिखेंगे b1, b2, c1, c2. It is not upon, it is simply b1, b2, c1, c2 in this notation only. Okay. Then we put a cross like this, b1 से लेकर c2 तक, B2 से लेकर C1 तक, and you enclose this whole calculation in bars. ठीक है, हमने यहाँ बार लगा दिया ऐसा. This is called a bar. It is a line like this. This notation is called determinant notation. This notation is called determinant notation. Similarly, for y, we skip the element of y. हमारे पास क्या बच गया? हमारे पास C1 C2 बचा, उसके बाद A1 A2 बचा. ठीक है, तो हमने यहाँ पे लिखा C1 C2 A1 A2. If you notice, ये C2 और C1 यहाँ repeat हुआ है. Clear? Now, for finding the value of the unknown quantity, तो हमने लिख लिया. हमें एक और quantity लिखनी पड़ती है 1 upon. हम यहाँ लिखेंगे जो हमारे पास बच गया है C1 C2 A1 A2. So यहाँ से हमने start किया A1 A2, then whatever is the remaining element B1 B2. That means if we are finding the value of x here, so if we are finding the value of x, हम ये वाला term use करेंगे. If we are finding the value of y, हम c और a use करेंगे. If we are finding it for 1, that means the last part, we will use these two. Okay, so it's b1 b2 c1 c2, c1 c2 a1 a2, a1 a2 b1 b2. We put a cross like this. अब इसको हम solve कैसे करते हैं? हम इसको लिखेंगे b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1. So it is x upon b1 c2 b2 c1. Similarly, y upon c1 into a2 minus c2 into a1. So it's c1 a2 c2 a1. Similarly, for 1 upon we have a1 b2 and a2 b1. Clear? मैं यहाँ पे लिख के दिखाता हूँ आपको. So it is x upon, we have the solution as b1 c2 minus b2 c1. It is equal to y upon c1 a2 minus c2 a1. It is equal to 1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Okay, now if you want to find the value of x, just equate this x with this 1, so that the value of x become numerator part में चले जाएगा ऊपर वो क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन से. So it becomes b1 c2 minus b2 c1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. See, this is of x, and if you learn this formula and in the examination if you miss any of the a1 b2 value, you can find the wrong answer. So instead of learning this formula, I have told you how this formula is created so that you solve the problem in this manner only. Okay, similarly, to find the value of y, I have to equate this y with this 1. So the value of y is equal to c1 a2 minus c2 a1 divided by a1 b2 minus a2 b1. Clear? This is the toughest part of simultaneous equation, ये formula बनाना और question solve करना. We will see with an example. I hope this is clear. So we'll see it with an example. Just a minute. Chalo. So again, we have the same equation. 3x plus y is equal to 11. 4x minus 2y is equal to 8. What we will do? We will mark them as equation 1 and 2. Now, to apply simultaneous equation, that means to apply the cross multiplication method, we see that this equation is not in the standard form. Our equation should be in the form of a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. But this given equation is not in that form, so we write it in this form. So it is 3x plus y. I take this 11 this side. It becomes minus 11 is equal to 0. And we have 4x minus 2y minus 8 is equal to 0. Now this is in the standard form. ठीक है, अगर स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में नहीं होगी तो पहले हमें स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म बनाना पड़ेगा. क्लियर? नाउ जस्ट फॉर आवर रिमेम्बरेंस हमने लिख दिया द वैल्यू ऑफ a1 हियर, दैट मींस द कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ x. a1 की वैल्यू 3, a2 is 1, B2 is minus 2. We have to consider the sign as well. C1 is minus 11 and C2 is minus 8. You can write it in rough at somewhere so that you remember what are the coefficients. Clear? Now, what we do, we'll write it like this, x upon x से coefficient छोड़ दो, हम क्या लिखेंगे? B1, B2, C1, C2. So the value of B1 is 1, B2 is minus 2, C1 is minus 11, C2 is minus 8. We put a cross sign like this and enclose this in bars. Similarly, the value of y is, you leave the coefficient of y, हमारे पास मिल गया C1, C2 multiplied by A1, A2. अगर आपको दिक्कत होती है तो जो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है ये वाला फॉर्मूला, you can write it in this manner only. आप यहाँ पर ये लिख सकते हैं. You write it like this, you लिखा हुआ है formula. So it's x upon the coefficients B1, B2, C1, C2. Similarly, y is equal to C1, C2, A1, A2. And you have 1 upon A1, A2, B1, B2. So it's 3, 4, 1 and minus 2. How do we solve it? Just जैसे मैंने लिखा है वैसे solve कीजिए. B1 into C2. B1 की value है 1, C2 की value है minus 8. 1 into minus 8 is minus 8. Put a minus sign. Then we have B2 into C1. So it's minus of 2 into minus of 11. It becomes plus of 22, but bahar minus laga hua hai, right? So what we do, it's B1 C2 minus of B2 C1. Clear? Then second case, y upon C1 C2 into C1 C2 A1 A2. So it's C1 A1 multiplied by C2 A2. C2 A1, sorry. So हमने लिखा है यहाँ पर minus of 11 into minus of 4, it is minus of 44. Put a minus sign. Minus of 8 into 3 is minus 24. Similarly, 1 upon में क्या आएगा? A1, A2, B1, B2. So it's A1 into B2. So it's 3 into minus 2, it's minus of 6. Minus of 4 into 1, that is 4. Solve them further. We have x upon minus 8 minus 22, which is minus of 30. Y upon minus 44 plus of 24, it's minus of 20. And 1 upon minus 6 minus 4, it's minus of 10. So to find the value of x, I equate x and 1 together. So it's minus 30 upon minus 10, which gives you the value of x as 3. Y is equal to minus 20 upon minus 10, which gives the value as 2. So we have the root as x equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. Same answer. Clear? So this method is called cross multiplication method. And if a question comes, it will write that solve this equation using cross multiplication, then only you will use this method. Otherwise, we only prefer elimination method for solving the simultaneous equation. Clear? Okay. Take one more example. So we have the equation as 2x plus 3y is equal to 17. And we have 3x minus y is equal to 9. Again, let us see how we solve it. First, it is not in the standard form. So we rearrange them into standard form. So we have 2x plus 3y minus of 17 equal to 0. We have 3x minus of y minus of 9 equal to 0. Right? Mark them as 1 and 2. Then we identify the coefficients. So a1 is 2, a2 is 3, b1 is 3, b2 is minus 1, c1 is minus 17, and c2 is minus of 9. What we do, we'll write x upon, so x upon b1, b2, c1, c2, 3 minus 1, 17 minus 19. Similarly, y upon c1, c2, a1, a2, and 1 upon a1, a2, b1, b2. Put a cross and solve it. So 3 into minus 9 is minus of 27. Put a minus sign. Minus 1 into minus 17 is plus of 17. हमने उसको bracket में लिखा है. Similarly, y is equal to minus 17 into 3, which is minus 51. Put a minus sign inside the bracket. Minus of 9 into 2, which is minus of 18. And 1 upon minus 2 into minus 1, which is minus of 2. Minus of 3 into 3, which is 9. So it's minus 2, minus 9. On solving further, we have the value of x as minus of 44. value of y minus of 33, and 1 upon minus of 11. That means the value of x is equal to minus 44 upon minus 11, which is 4. Value of y is equal to minus 33 upon minus 11, which is 3. Clear? So this method is called cross multiplication method. We have seen 4 methods. First method is substitution. Second method is comparison. Next method is elimination method. In elimination, we have 3 cases. Case number 1 is when we have same coefficient, opposite sign. So we simply add the 2 equations. Second case is same coefficient, same sign. So we subtract one equation from the other. And third case is when coefficients are not matching. So we multiply with a common factor so that coefficients of any one variable become same. In this way, our question reduces to either case number 1 or case number 2. Right? Then we have this cross multiplication method, which is only applicable if you have the equations in the standard form, which is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So ये पूरा process हम तभी कर सकते हैं. Clear? So these are the methods that we have seen. Now let us see some problems. Okay. फिर एक और प्रॉब्लम आती है हमारे पास, उसको हम बोलते हैं रेसिप्रोकल इक्वेशंस. द रेसिप्रोकल इक्वेशंस आर स्पेशल इक्वेशंस इन व्हिच the unknown variables are not in numerator but they are in denominator. For example, we have an equation 3 upon x plus 4 upon y is equal to 8, 5 upon x plus 6 upon y is equal to 13. Here we have unknown variables x and y, but they are not in numerator, they are in denominator. Such equations are called reciprocal equations. Question अगर आएगा तो आपको long answer आएगा 8 marks question. Let us see how we solve it. While solving, what we do, we first suppose that capital A is equal to 1 upon x and capital B is equal to 1 upon y. Okay, so after putting the value of A and B, we have the equation as 3 times 4 times B is equal to 8, 5 times A plus 6 times B is equal to 13. In this way, now instead of having the unknown variables in denominator, we only have it in numerator. So we have transformed it into the normal simultaneous equation. 3a plus 4b is equal to 8, 5a plus 6b is equal to 13. Here a and b both are unknown variables. For 2 unknown variables, we must have 2 equations. So here we have 2 equations. Clear? This method is called reciprocal equation. हम इसमें करते क्या है, फिर से बता रहा हूं. Here the unknown variables are in denominator, not in the numerator. So we substitute, let capital A is equal to 1 upon x, let capital B is equal to 1 upon y. Then our given equation reduces to this form. Clear? Now you have to use elimination method. यहाँ पे देखो, we have 3a plus 4b, 5a plus 6b. That means none of the coefficients are matching. This is case number 3. So what we will do, we will try to make one coefficient same. ठीक है, वो हम कैसे करेंगे? Suppose I need to eliminate the value b. So I'll multiply first equation by 3 because I know that 12 is a common factor for 4 and 6 are common factors of 12. So to get 12 here, I need to multiply first equation by 3 and second equation by 2. So मेरे को मिलेगा 9a plus 12b is equal to 24. I'll get 10a plus 12b is equal to 26. Cost and demand analysis. 4 and 6 are common factors of 12. So, ठीक है. So now what we'll do, we have same coefficient, same sign. So we have to subtract one equation from the other. Subtract करेंगे तो आ जाएगा 9 of a minus 10 of a, which is minus of a. Plus 12b minus 12b cancel हो गया. 24 minus 26, I'll get the answer as minus of 2. That means the value of a is equal to 2. Similarly, if you put the value of a in equation 1, you will get a value of capital B as 1 upon 2. Clear? Now, our initial unknown variables were x and y. But here we have found the value of a and b. This is not right. So now what we have done, since we have taken a as 1 upon x, it means the value of x is equal to 1. That means whatever a you have calculated, you have to put the value here. So the value of x is equal to 1 upon a, which is 1 upon 2. Similarly, the value of y is equal to 1 upon b. So 1 upon b, this 2 comes to numerator, your answer is 2. Hence, the value of x is 1 upon 2 and the value of y is 2. In this way, we solve reciprocal equation. Simple है. सबसे पहले हमको 1 upon x को capital A रखना है, 1 upon b को 1 upon y को capital B रखना है. Then we reduce it into a proper simultaneous equation form. We solve it using elimination method and find the value of a and b. Then later on, we find the value of x as 1 upon a and we find the value of y as 1 upon b. Clear? Now, हमारे पास apart from these normal numerical problems, we have word problems in which sentence, a fact, something is information is given to you. From that information, you have to solve it. Okay. Now, how do we solve? We assume the unknown quantities to be x and y. We convert the verbal way or the other so that it generates some equations. For solving the value of x and y, you require to form two equations. So based on the information which is provided in the question, word problem, you have to find two equations. Once you have the two equations, you can use any method, be it comparison, be it substitution, but generally comparison and substitutions are not used. We only use elimination method to find the value. Clear? And what type of problems comes in word problems of simultaneous equation? We have problems on numbers and digits. We may have problems on ages, problems on fractions, speed, distance, area, work, price, profit and loss, and so on. Okay, so these type of real world problems comes and we solve it using the concept of simultaneous equation. Let us see one problem. Here, the problem is the sum of two numbers is 64 and their difference is 16. You have to find the two numbers. Question ऐसा आता है, the sum of two numbers is 64 and their difference is 16. Find the numbers. The first and foremost thing is you have to understand what is given in the problem. That means what values are given and what values you need to find out. So it is given that the sum of two numbers is 64. So you come to know that there are two numbers and their sum is 64, but you don't know those numbers. Those numbers are to be found out. So you have to find those numbers. So in questions में हम करते क्या है? Whatever we have been asked to find, we will substitute. हमसे पूछा गया दो नंबर बताइए, तो हम बोलेंगे let the two numbers be x and y. Okay? So अब क्या करेंगे? हम यहाँ पे लिखेंगे let the two numbers be x and y. But you have to specify which is the larger number, which is the smaller number, because my difference भी दिया हुआ है. Okay? So we will write that let the two numbers be x and y such that x is the larger number and y is the smaller number. ये हमने कर लिया. Now, based upon the two facts given in the problem, we need to find two equations. हमको दिया हुआ है sum of the two numbers is 64 and different, मतलब if you subtract the lower number from the higher number, the difference is 16. So हम लिखेंगे यहाँ पर then according to the given condition in the question. पहला, sum of the numbers, that means x plus y कितना दिया हुआ है 64 and difference of the number, that is x minus y is equal to 16. हमने दो इक्वेशन बना ली. Let us mark them as 1 and 2. अब यहाँ पे देखो हम इसको एलिमिनेशन मेथड से सॉल्व करते हैं. Let us identify which form it is. This is case number 2 because we have the same coefficient of y but with opposite sign. Sorry, this is case number 1. Same coefficient, opposite sign. What we will do, we will simply add the two equations together. So हम लिखेंगे whatever method you are using, please mention the method. Now solving the equation using elimination method. या अगर आप substitution या कुछ लगा रहे हैं तो लिखना पड़ेगा using such and such method. So we simply add the two equations. तो y and minus y cancel हो गया. आपके पास बचा twice of x is equal to 80. It gives out the value of x as 40. You put it in equation number 1, you will get the value of y as 24. अब आंसर क्या पूछा है आपसे? नंबर्स बताइए. हमने सब्स्टिट्यूट किया था नंबर्स x एंड y है, तो हम बोलेंगे hence the two numbers are 40 and 24. क्लियर है? ऐसे सिंपल से वर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे. You have to clearly read, understand, try to find what is given, try to find what is to be found out, and also how you can make two equations which you will solve to find the unknown variables. Clear? एक और एग्जांपल देखते हैं. Twice the total of two numbers is 6060. Twice the total of two numbers is 60. The larger number exceeds twice the smaller by 12. Find the numbers. जो क्वेश्चन जितना अजीब दिखता है वो उतना ही सिंपल होता है सॉल्व करने में, राइट? नाउ वी रीड इट अगेन. Twice the total of two numbers, that means दो नंबर का टोटल दिया हुआ है और 60. So we don't know those numbers, so जो हमको नहीं पता है वो हम सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे. So let us now substitute that the two numbers be x and y, right? So we have x and y. बताना पड़ेगा x is the smaller number, y is the larger number. आपकी मर्जी, किसी को भी आप स्मॉलर या लार्जर कर सकते हो, ठीक है? Okay. Then according to the given condition in the question, पहली condition है twice the total of two numbers is 60. That means the total of two numbers x plus y. उसका twice यानी twice of x plus y. So twice of x plus y क्या हो गया? 60. It implies x plus y is 30. Second equation, second value दी हुई है हमको, second fact या information है, the larger exceeds twice the smaller by 12. That means if I subtract twice the smaller number from the larger number, my difference will be 12. What it is there? The larger exceeds twice the smaller by 12. That means if I subtract the smaller number, twice of the smaller number from the larger number, my difference will be 12. So मैंने लिखा y is the larger number, so y minus twice of x, my answer is 12. Read each and every word in the problem. Each word has a meaning. ठीक है? So हमारे पास दो इक्वेशन आ गई, 1 and 2. Let us now solve them. So it's x plus y is 30, 2x minus y is minus of 12. मैंने इसको अरेंज कर लिया. ठीक. Here it is case number 1, same coefficient opposite sign. Just simply add them together. So 2x plus x ये हो गया 3x, 30 minus 12 हो गया 18. The value of x is 6. Put it in equation number 2, you'll get the value of y as 24. Hence 6 and 24. In your books, if you see word problems, I think pretty much you are able to do that. Try to solve the word problems. आप आराम से इसको कर पाएंगे. One thing, जिनके पास book है, please note down. There is a question number 6 of exercise H. Question number 6 of exercise H. And the question says that a number consists of two digits whose sum is 6. जो लिख रहे हैं वो लिख लीजिए. A number consists of two digits whose sum is 6. Full stop. If इसमें लिखा हुआ है if 8 is added to the number, it is a misprint. The right would be if 18 is added to the number. तो जो आंसर लिखा है वही आएगा, right? So please make a correction. Instead of 8, it is 18. So it's a number consists of two digits whose sum is 6. If 18 is added to the number, the digits reverse. You have to find the numbers. ठीक है? बाकी सारे क्वेश्चन सही हैं, आप आराम से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. But you have to read carefully, try to find out what is given, what is to be found out, and how you can find two equations. दो इक्वेशन बन गई तो बहुत आसान है. ठीक है? देखो क्वेश्चन इसमें लिखा हुआ है, ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. The sum of two digits of a number is 1515, right? The sum of the two digits of a number is 1515. it is given that if 9 is added to the number, the resulting number is equal to the original number with digits interchange. अब ध्यान से देखो हो क्या रहा है. The sum of two digits of a number, that means there is a 2-digit number. ठीक. Here, if you add both the digits of that number, the answer is 15. If you add 9 to this number, whatever is the resulting answer, it is equal to the original number but with digits interchange. Suppose अगर मेरा number 24 है तो digits interchange हो जाएंगे तो 42 बन जाएगा. हमको पता लगाना है कि हमारा number कौन सा है. Clear? The sum of two digits of a number is 15. If 9 is added to the number, the resulting number is equal to the original number with digits interchange. So these all are different types of problems that might come. इनसे मिलता जुलता ही आएगा. So यहाँ आपको बताना पड़ेगा, if it's a 2-digit number, we have to specify which digit is at units place, which digit is at tens place. So हमने बोला, let the digit at the unit place be x and the digit at the tens place is y. Now here it is very important you to understand how we form a number. ठीक है, हम एक number कैसे form ये देख रहे हैं. Look here, I'll just tell you with an example here. Suppose my number is 23. आपने शायद क्लास सेकेंड थर्ड में पढ़ा होगा place value and face value of numbers, right? Expanded form of number. So I can write it as 2 into 10 plus 3 because it's a tens place number digit. So 2 into 10 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. Okay? अगर मुझे 371 लिखना है तो मैं लिखूंगा 3 into 100 plus 7 into tens position plus 1, right? So it's 300 plus 70 plus 1 तो मुझे 371 मिलेगा. Similarly हमने लिखा है let the 2-digit number be 10y plus x, मतलब 10 times the 10th place digit plus x. ये वाली चीज 10th place को 10 से मल्टीप्लाई किया प्लस x. ये समझ में आया? ओके, फिर से देखते हैं. Let the digit at the unit place be x and the digit at the tens place be y. So हमारा 2-digit number बन गया 10 of y plus of x. ये तो हमने समझ लिया कि नंबर कैसा होगा. अब हम देखते हैं कि हमको क्वेश्चन में कैसे हम इक्वेशन बनाएंगे. The sum of two digits of a number is 15. So according to the given question, if I add the both digits, that means x plus y, my answer is 15. Take second. If 9 is added to the number, what was my number? My original number was 10y plus x. Okay? If I add 9 to this number, my new number would be a reverse digit. That means if my first number is y into x, which is 10y plus x, my second number would be x into y. Reverse, मतलब 10 times x plus y. तो हमने लिखा है when 9 is added to the number, the digits are reversed. So the reverse number becomes 10x plus y. अब इस कंडीशन के बेस पे ये लिखा है if 9 is added to the number, the resulting number is equal to original number with digits interchange. तो मतलब original number plus 9, it is equal to the reverse number. What was my original number? My original number was 10y plus x. If I add 9 to this, my answer is the reverse number, which is 10x plus y. Solve it. Take the x terms on one side or y terms on the other side and solve it. You will get the value. You will get the equation. हमने क्या लिखा है यहाँ पर? हमने equation लिखा है यहाँ पर 10 of y plus of x minus of y is equal to minus of 9. अब इस मैंने लिखा y 10y minus y is y. So is 9 of y minus of 9x is equal to minus 9. 9 common निकल गया. मेरे पास बच गया y minus x equal to minus 1. Or I can say it as x minus y is equal to plus of 1. This is my equation number 2. So I have two equations, x plus y equal to 15 and x minus y is equal to Again, elimination method लगाएंगे. Same coefficient, same sign, opposite sign. We add the two equations together. We have twice of x equal to 16. The value of x is 8. Put it in any of the in equation number 2. You'll get the value of y as 7. अब नंबर क्या है हमारा? हमारा नंबर है 10 times y plus x. मतलब 10 times 7 plus 8, which is 78. एक बार इसको ध्यान से देख लीजिए. The sum of two digits of a number is 15. If 9 is added to the number, the resulting number is equal to original number with digits interchange. Find the number. This is an important question. 8 number का आता है. सबसे पहले हमें यहाँ बताना पड़ेगा what is the units place number and what is the 10th place digit. So units place digit is x and the 10th place digit is y. That means my 2-digit number is 10th place number into 10 plus the units place number. So it's 10 of y plus x. अब जो condition given है उससे हम equation बनाएंगे. The first condition was the sum of the two digits of a number is 15. That means x plus y is 15. Second equation कैसे बनेगी? If 9 is added to the number, my original number was 10y plus x. If I add 9, my digits interchange. That means मेरा number बनेगा 10 of x plus y. Solve it, you will get one equation which is x minus y equal to 1. Mark them as equation 1 and 2. Solve it using elimination method. You'll get the value of x and y. Once you get x and y, just put it for the number. Our number is 10 times x plus y, 10 times y plus x. Put the value and you'll get the value as 78. Directly 78 आप नहीं लिखेंगे, ऐसे ही लिखना पड़ेगा आपको. Clear है? So you can refer, so this is on YouTube, so you can refer it afterwards also. We'll take one more problem. It is mentioned that the denominator of a fraction is greater than numerator by 3. The denominator of a fraction is greater than the numerator by 3. If 1 is added to both the numerator and denominator, or 1 is subtracted from numerator and 3 from denominator, the new fraction becomes equal. You have to find the fraction. प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी बड़ी है, ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे फिर से. हमें निकालना क्या है? फ्रैक्शन निकालना है. So let us now suppose that our fraction is x upon y. Fraction is x upon y. अब first condition दी है, the denominator of a fraction is greater than the numerator by 3. That means if I subtract the numerator for denominator, my answer is 3. y minus x is 3. मैंने बोला y is equal to x plus 3. Clear? That did mark it as equation number. Now हमारी दूसरी कंडीशन क्या है? If 1 is added to both numerator and denominator, तो मैंने लिखा x plus 1 and y plus 1. 1 is added to both numerator and denominator. Or 1 is subtracted from numerator and 3 is subtracted to denominator. So हमने बोला x minus 1 and y minus 3. They both are equal. तो हमने इसको equal लिख दिया. x plus 1 upon y plus 1. It is equal to x minus 1 upon y minus 3. Clear है? फिर से बता रहा हूं. It is given that the denominator of a fraction is greater than the numerator by 3. So मैंने बोला कि मेरा fraction x upon y है. That means my numerator is x and my denominator is y. So according to first condition, y minus x equal to 3. That means I can say that y is equal to x plus 3. This is my first equation. Also, it is given that if 1 is added to both numerator and denominator, and if you subtract 1 from numerator and 3 from denominator, the answer is same. That means you can equate them together. So it's x plus 1 upon y plus 1. It is equal to x minus 1 upon y minus 3. How do you solve it? Using cross multiplication. So it becomes, again, since I am using the equal to sign, I have to start my calculation with an implied sign. So it is x plus 1 into y minus 3, which is equal to x minus 1 into y plus 1. Open the brackets. It becomes xy, x into y, minus 3 times x, plus of y, minus of 3. I hope you know how to open brackets, right? It is equal to x into y plus 1. That means x into y plus x minus of, you take x and y on one side, so it becomes minus of 3x. You take this plus x this side, it becomes minus of x, plus of y minus of 1 plus of 3. ये plus xy है, इधर भी plus xy है. If you take this xy this side, it becomes minus xy and get cancelled. So while solving, you are left with twice of minus of 2x plus y is equal to 1. This is equation number 2. You have two equations. You substitute the value of y from equation 1 into equation number 2. ये easy है, substitution से हमारा काम चल जाएगा, इसलिए हम substitution method use कर रहे हैं. Otherwise, you are free to use any method. You find the value of y, put the value of y in equation number 1, you'll get the value of x. Again, substitute the value of x, you will get the value of y. So we have the root as x equal to 2, y equal to 5. Here, we have substituted that fraction is x upon y. So our answer should be in the form of fraction only. So our answer is 2 upon 5. Okay. So these are the different type of questions that might come. आज के लिए मेरे ख्याल से काफी है ये. हम कल स्टार्ट करेंगे. Tomorrow we'll see some more word problems and try to solve numerical problems of exercise B, C, D. If you have doubts, you can come up with your doubts. Clear hai? So I'm stopping this session for today. Tomorrow we'll have session जहाँ पे हम word problems और भी देखेंगे. Clear है? Vijay sir? Vijay sir? All right. So with that, from my side, please do practice. ये मेथड बहुत इजी है. एक एक क्वेश्चन आप बुक से ट्राई कीजिएगा, आपसे आराम से बन जाएगा. We'll see the if you have any doubts, we'll see.
Yes, sir.
Sir, आज का मेरे ख्याल से काफी है.
Students, if you have any doubts or queries, you can write in the chat.
Yes.
Why?
So if you don't have any doubt, I think we can stop the session for today. Please solve the problems, come up with your doubts tomorrow. Okay? And please ask all other friends who have not joined today because of some reason, kindly join. You can refer to this video afterwards also. Chalo. Thank you.